the great Tamalpais downhill stagecoach derby, when brick luck rode harder than the devil himself. Now let me tell you, folks, this one's a tale for the ages. It was back when Mount Tamalpais wasn't much more than a wild patch of bramble and chaparral, long before they laid down that gravity scenic railway. Just a snake of dirt trails and switchbacks twisting down that mountain like a drunk serpent looking for trouble. But trouble, we was looking for it first. The plan, me and the boys, Brick Brother 33 and company, had been sitting around the old Sutro baths, wetting our whistles when someone, looking at you, Cactus Pete, had the bright idea. Fellas, what if we raced stagecoaches down Tamalpais? Now, if whiskey-soaked bad decisions were bricks, I'd have built another Fort Point with him that night. Johnny, he was sitting there quietly sipping his tea, claimed it was whiskey, but I saw the steam coming off it, pretended not to hear. "You boys will get yourselves killed," he muttered, eyes squinting toward the hills. Not me, Johnny added. "I'll watch from a safe distance, paint the carnage if I have to." And paint he did, but we'll get to that. The racers lined up. We gathered at the top of Tamalpais where the fog kissed the treetops and the morning sun barely peeked through. 7 fearless or foolish souls. Cactus Pete, a wiry old coot with a penchant for moonshine and misfortune, drove a stagecoach he called Old Rattlebones, said the wheels weren't round so much as consistently oval. Whistlin' Willie McGraw, short as a stump with a whistle that could cut through granite. His coach, the High Toot Express, was loaded with dynamite crates forgot to unload. Daisy Duke Walker, dressed finer than a Sunday preacher but could cuss louder than a sailor caught in a bear trap. Her coach, the Duchess, was the fastest thing on wheels when it stayed upright. Busted Louis Malone, always broke, always talking big. His rig was the sure thing, but the wheels wobbled like a drunkard on payday. Hootin' Hank Delacroix, tall, skinny, and always laughing. His rig, the Cackler, had a loose axle and a habit of drifting to the left. Blindfolded Bill Tucker. Yep, he wore a blindfold, said it kept him from overthinking the curves. His stage, the bat out of hell, looked as crazy as his scheme. And then there was me, Brick Brother 33, my coach, the 4-mule Fury, hand-built, reinforced, streamlined by nothing more than sheer stubbornness and a dab of tar for luck. The race begins. Johnny stood on the sidelines, nervously chewing his lip as he mixed his paints. Ready, set. Yeah! And just like that, we were off like cannonballs fired from Fort Point. Cactus Pete led early, but his wagon was shaking so bad he looked like a bobblehead doll on a washboard road. "Hold together, Rattlebones," Pete hollered. But one wheel bounced clean off, and Pete spun out faster than a preacher at a poker game. Daisy Duke took the lead next, her rig flying down the slope like a bolt of lightning. "Eat my dust, boys," she cackled, right before her left wheel gave out. Whistlin' Willie's dynamite started rattling louder than a hornet's nest. One wrong bump, and boom, half the mountainside go up like a New Year's fireworks show. "Whoa, boy." Willie was leaning out of the wagon trying to balance the load, but that had only made the High Toot Express veer wild. He flipped right into the bushes, and I swear I saw a rabbit scamper out wearing his hat. Busted Louie? His sure thing wasn't so sure after all. Wheel flew clean off, and Louie went rolling downhill faster than his own coach. Heck, me and Hootin' Hank neck and neck. Hank was laughing like a madman, his coach drifting left but somehow still keeping pace. "Looks like it's just you and me, Brick Brother," Hank hollered, hat flying off into the wind. Then disaster struck. My mules, all 4 of them, they busted loose. "Whoa," I yelled, but they weren't listening. 4 mules running free as the wind, leaving me riding a runaway stage with no horsepower left. The double bow tie bypass. I was losing ground, but I knew something them other fools didn't. An old bypass. A steep cut through the rocks, faster than the main trail, but dangerous as all get out. No guts, no glory, I muttered, grabbing the brake lever with both hands. I aimed straight for it, cutting through like a streak of lightning. I flew down that bypass faster than a greased hog on a slip and slide. Rocks bouncing, dust flying, and Johnny, I could hear him gasp even from the top of the hill. The finish line. Hoot and Hank was right behind me, laughing the whole way. But I was faster. I came barreling out of that bypass, the wind whipping through my hair, standing tall on that runaway rig, holding the brake lever in one hand and waving my hat in the other like a conquering hero. I crossed the line first. Brick Brother wins. The crowd erupted. The Johnny's masterpiece. Johnny? He was sitting on the sidelines, still wide-eyed, holding his brush and palette. "You did it," he whispered. "Paint it, Johnny." I grinned, wiping sweat off my brow. And paint it he did. The watercolor masterpiece. A picture of me standing tall on that runaway coach, hat waving, dust in the air, and the mountain behind me. That masterpiece? It hangs to this day inside my hut in Golden Gate Park. A reminder that sometimes brick luck don't just save you, it lets you win.